It's playing again. The conversation from this morning. The thing you said that came out wrong. The moment you wish you'd handled differently. The scene your mind keeps going back to, as if watching it one more time will change what happened. It won't, you know that, and yet, there it is again. Tonight, the replay ends. Not by solving what happened, by finally, completely, letting the screen go dark. Before you close your eyes, tap subscribe below this video. Night Reprogram is here every night the replay won't stop. And if tonight the replay is loud, tap like, so someone else lying awake with the same scenes can find their way here. And if tonight feels louder than usual, there's something in the pinned comment made for exactly where you are right now. It'll be there when you're ready. Please don't listen while driving or operating any machinery. This session is for sleep only. Welcome to Night Reprogram, a space where today stops replaying, even if you haven't resolved it, even if you haven't figured it out, even if the scene keeps pulling you back. By the end of this session, you'll be sleeping deeply. The screen will be dark, and the replay for tonight will be over. Here's something important about the replay. It has a purpose. When your mind replays something from the day, a difficult moment, a mistake, an interaction that didn't go well, it's not doing it to torture you. It's doing it to process, to understand, to extract whatever learning or meaning is available from what happened. This is actually useful during the day. But here's what the replay doesn't know. There's a time limit on its usefulness. After a certain point, after you've replayed it enough times to extract whatever insight was there, the replay is just replaying, not processing, not learning, just looping. And that loop late at night is costing you rest without giving you anything in return. Tonight, we close the loop. Not by deciding what the replay means, but by giving your mind permission to declare the processing complete, even if it doesn't feel complete, and let tonight be for rest. Close your eyes. The screen is dimming. We begin with breath, and I want you to imagine with each exhale the scenes from today losing just a little bit of their sharpness. Breathe in slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold gently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The replay a little less sharp on this exhale. Again, breathing in slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And releasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The scene's beginning to blur at the edges. One more time. Breathing in fully. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And releasing today completely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Now I want you to imagine the scenes from today as images on a screen. Not a cinema screen, something smaller, personal, the screen inside your mind where the replay has been running. It's still there, the scene's still visible, but with each breath we take together, they're going to lose their sharpness. Imagine turning a focus dial, very slowly, just a fraction. The scene blurs slightly at the edges, the faces less defined, the words harder to make out. Still there, but softer. Another breath, another turn of the dial. The colors beginning to fade, the sounds becoming muffled, the scene losing the sharpness that made it feel so immediate. Another breath, another turn. The scene now like a photograph left in sunlight, still visible but the contrast fading, the urgency draining out of it. I count you down from 20. With each number, the dial turns, the screen dims, the replay loses its hold. 20. The scene's beginning to blur. 19. The edges softening further. 18. The faces fading. 17. The words becoming indistinct. 16. The colors washing out. 15. Halfway. The screen noticeably dimmer. 14. The urgency draining from the scene. 13. The replay losing its grip. 12. Just shapes now, barely. 11. The screen mostly dark. 10. Halfway. 9. Almost completely dark. 8. The last images fading. 7. Only the faintest trace remaining. 6. Almost gone. 5. The screen nearly black. 4. The last scene dissolving. 3. Dark. 2. Here. 1. The screen is dark. The replay is over. With the screen dark, I want you to notice the space that the replay was occupying. It's significant, actually. The replay takes up a lot of room. And now that it's gone, just for tonight, there's room for something else. Not another thought. Not a new scene, just space. The kind of space that sleep needs to move into. 20 more steps deeper into this space. 20. The dark screen settling. 19. Your mind accepting the space. 18. Nothing projected onto the screen. 17. The replay nowhere nearby. 16. Only quiet. 15. Halfway. 14. Your subconscious fully open. 13. The day becoming yesterday. 12. The space in your mind vast and still. 11. Deeper. 10. Halfway. 9. The replay has no access to this depth. 8. Only rest waiting here. 7. So close to complete dark. 6. Almost completely still. 5. Almost there. 4. The deepest quiet. 3. The screen completely dark. 2. Here. 1. The replay is over, completely, and sleep has moved into the space it left behind. The mind that replays today isn't malfunctioning. It's doing its job, extracting meaning from experience. This process matters. Without it, we wouldn't learn from our days. We wouldn't integrate what happened. We wouldn't carry forward the lessons that experience offers. But the replay has a shelf life. There's a point, usually within the first few passes, where all the meaningful processing that's possible has happened. And after that point, the replay is just a habit, a loop. The mind doing what it learned to do, past the point where it's useful. Tonight, you're not stopping the replay because you're avoiding something. You're stopping it because it's past its expiration date. The processing that could be done has been done. The rest is just the habit of replaying. And habits can be interrupted. Imagine leaving a cinema after a film that stayed with you. Not a bad film, just one that got under your skin, a scene that plays over in your mind on the way home. A line of dialogue you keep hearing. You're not in the cinema anymore. The film has ended. The credits have rolled. but the film continues in your head. This is what today's replay is. The film ended hours ago. You left the cinema. You came home. You're in bed. But the projector in your mind didn't get the message that the showing is over. Tonight, you're the one who turns off the projector. Not because the film wasn't important, but because the cinema is closed. The showing is over. The screen goes dark. And tomorrow, if the film still has something to say, you can watch it again with fresh eyes after rest. But tonight, the projector is off. The title of this session contains 2 words that matter. Even if. Not once you've resolved it. Not after you figured out what you should have done differently. Not when the replay finally stops on its own. Even if. Even if today is still unresolved. Even if the conversation still feels unfinished. Even if you don't know yet what you'll do tomorrow. You're allowed to sleep tonight anyway. This is the permission most people forget to give themselves. The idea that rest is only available after resolution, after understanding, after closure, after the replay has given up something worth knowing. But resolution doesn't come from more replaying. It comes from rest. The answers that weren't there at midnight are often waiting at 7 a.m. After sleep, after the mind had space to process without you watching. Sleep is not the obstacle to resolution. It's the path to it. Your subconscious is completely open, the screen dark, the projector off. I am allowed to sleep even if today hasn't been fully resolved. The replay has served its purpose. It is complete. Falling asleep with an unfinished day does not mean I am unfinished. The screen goes dark. Tomorrow, if needed, I can watch again. Rest is not avoidance. Rest is how resolution actually happens. My mind processes today more effectively during sleep than during replay. I release today to the night. It will be different in the morning. Racing thoughts are the projector running past the end of the film. I turn it off now. The replay is over. The screen is dark. Sleep moves into the space it left. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. The first thing you notice is that the scene from yesterday, the one that kept replaying, is further away than it was at midnight. Not forgotten, not resolved necessarily, but smaller, less urgent, seen from a distance that midnight didn't allow. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes, you'll find that sleep did something the replay couldn't. It gave you a perspective you didn't have last night, a sense of what actually matters about what happened, a quieter knowing of what to do next. This is what the mind does during sleep when you let it work without supervision. It processes what needs processing, releases what doesn't, and returns to you in the morning with something the replay could never deliver. That's what tonight was. Permission to let the sleep do what it does. Before the downloads begin, your anchor. I want you to blink 3 times, slowly, as if each blink is turning a dial, dimming the screen a little more. 1 slow blink. 2, 3, and on that 3rd blink, let your eyes stay closed. This is your anchor. Whenever the replay starts up again, in the middle of the night, during a restless moment, 3 slow blinks. And these words, silently, the replay is over. Feel what that does right now. The replay is over. Your subconscious will remember this. 3 blinks, 2 words. The screen goes dark. While you sleep tonight, your mind will complete the processing it actually needed to do. The parts of today that mattered, integrated. The parts that didn't, released. All of it without the effort of watching, without the cost of replaying. The cinema is closed. The projector is off. And the screen that was so bright at midnight is already dark. From here, the dark screen carries you. My voice, one of the last things before sleep. You don't need to follow it anymore. The replay is over. The screen is dark. And you are already asleep. I know what it feels like when the screen goes dark and the replay finally ends. I have the experience of 3 slow blinks bringing the projector to a stop. I know how to recognize when the replay has passed its expiration date and declare it complete. I have the ability to sleep even if today hasn't been fully resolved. I know what it feels like when the film ends in my mind and I let the cinema close. I have the experience of the replay losing its sharpness with each exhale until it disappears. I know how to give my mind permission to stop processing before it feels finished. I have the ability to turn off the projector without needing a resolution first. I know what it feels like when, even if replaces only when as my condition for sleep. I have the experience of waking up and finding the scene smaller than it was at midnight. I am someone whose mind releases the day when the day is done. I know what it feels like to wake up with a perspective that midnight couldn't offer. I have the experience of sleep processing what replay couldn't. I am someone who trusts the night to complete what the day started. I know how to let today become yesterday without needing it to be finished first. I have the ability to interrupt the loop when it has gone past what's useful. I know what it feels like when the racing thoughts slow to a stop, one scene at a time. I am someone whose sleep is the continuation of, not the obstacle to, resolution. I know the quiet that fills the space where the replay was running. I have the experience of 3 blinks and 2 words being enough to close the cinema. I know what it feels like when the dark screen is a relief, not an emptiness. I have the ability to release today to the night without needing to understand it first. I know how to let the unresolved wait in tomorrow's light, where it is easier to see. I have the experience of the racing thoughts running out of scenes to replay. I know what it feels like when the projector off is more powerful than any insight replaying could offer. I am someone whose racing thoughts find their off switch more easily each night. I know how to let the blur become dark, become sleep. I have the experience of the morning offering what midnight never could. I know what it feels like when the replay is recognized as habit, not necessity. I am someone who is learning that the screen going dark is the beginning of resolution, not the end. The screen is dark. The replay is over. The cinema is closed. Today is done. I am here. I am quiet. I am resting. I am still. I am free. I am already asleep. The screen, dark, the replay, over, already asleep.